Ever wonder which vegetables are the worst for diabetics? Well, buckle up for a ride through the garden of no-nos. You see, not all veggies are created equal, especially when it comes to managing diabetes. Some of our green buddies can be surprisingly high in carbohydrates or sugars, which can cause blood sugar spikes. Diet management is crucial for anyone dealing with diabetes. It's not just about avoiding sweets and processed foods. Sometimes the villains can be lurking where you least expect them, right in your salad bowl. Certain vegetables, while generally healthy, can be a bit tricky for diabetics. It's all about understanding the nutritional content and learning how to balance it with your overall diet. But don't worry, we're not saying you should swear off vegetables entirely. It's all about making informed choices and finding the right balance. So, without further ado, let's dig up the dirt on these veggie villains. Starting at number 7, we have the seemingly innocent potato. Ah, the humble spud, so versatile, so delicious, and yet hiding a nefarious secret. Now, before you start envisioning pitchfork-wielding potatoes, let's clarify something. It's not that potatoes are inherently evil, but their high carbohydrate content can be a concern for those managing diabetes. You see, when you consume carbs, your body converts them into glucose, which raises your blood sugar levels. For those with diabetes, this surge can be problematic. And unfortunately, our dear friend the potato is packed with these pesky carbs. A single, medium-sized potato contains about 37 grams of carbs, which is more than some people with diabetes should have for an entire meal. Moving on to number 6, we have another staple in many kitchens: corn. Hey there, awesome viewers! If you've stuck with us until now, it's clear you're committed to living your healthiest life, just like we are. Why not make it official? Hit that subscribe button and join our community for more health and wellness tips. Now, corn might seem like a healthy choice. It's a vegetable, right? But here's the twist. Corn is a starchy vegetable, and like the potato, it's high in carbohydrates. A single cup of corn contains around 41 grams of carbs. That's more than a potato. So if you're trying to manage your blood sugar levels, you might want to reconsider reaching for that corn on the cob at your next barbecue. And rounding off our countdown at number 5, we have peas. Yes, those little green orbs that you either love or hate. Peas are a bit of a curveball because they're packed with nutrients and fiber, but they're also high in carbohydrates. A cup of cooked peas has about 25 grams of carbs. The carbs in peas, like those in potatoes and corn, can cause your blood sugar levels to spike. Well, that's a bummer, isn't it? I mean, who doesn't like a good potato? Or a juicy ear of corn, or even a handful of peas? But don't worry, we still have 4 more to go. So stay tuned as we continue our countdown of the 7 worst vegetables for diabetics. Moving on to number 4, we have the deceptive beetroot. Now don't get me wrong. Beetroots are usually the good guys on the plate, often lauded for their rich antioxidant content. They're like the Clark Kents of the vegetable world, seemingly mild-mannered but packed with superpowers. But for diabetics, they can be more like Lex Luthor, causing havoc with blood sugar levels. You see, beetroots have a bit of a dual personality. On the one hand, they're a great source of fiber, potassium, and vitamin C. They're like the charming friend who always brings the best gifts to the party. But on the other hand, they're high in natural sugars. That's right. Beneath that crimson exterior, they're hiding a sugary secret that can cause blood sugar levels to spike. So, for those of us trying to keep our sugar levels steady, it's like getting a surprise visit from the Joker when you were hoping for Batman. Next up at number 3, we have carrots. Now, I know what you're thinking. Carrots? Really? But they're so good for the eyes. And you're right. Carrots are often hailed as eye health heroes, with their high beta-carotene content. They're like the Hawkeyes of the vegetable world, helping us keep our vision sharp. But for diabetics, they can be a bit of a double-edged sword. Yes, carrots are packed with vitamins and fiber, but they also have a high sugar content. And while they might not be as sweet as beets, they can still cause a significant rise in blood sugar levels. It's like finding out that Captain America has been working for Hydra all along. A shocking twist in the tale. So it seems even the sweet ones can be sour for our health. But hold on, the top 2 might surprise you. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for, the top 2 worst vegetables for diabetics. Drumroll, please. Let's start with parsnips. Now don't get me wrong, parsnips have their place in the culinary world. Their sweet and earthy flavor can make a hearty stew sing. But when it comes to their starch content, well, that's a different tune. You see, parsnips are loaded with starch, which can cause blood sugar levels to spike. For someone with diabetes, this can be a serious concern. It's like throwing a party and inviting all of your friends, only to realize that you've also invited your demanding boss. Suddenly, the party isn't so fun anymore. That's what parsnips do to your blood sugar. They invite the boss. Now, on to our second offender, the winter squash. Who would have thought this seemingly innocent vegetable could be a culprit? But alas, it's true. Winter squash, much like our friend the parsnip, is high in starch. It's not that winter squash is inherently bad, it's full of vitamins and nutrients. But for those with diabetes, the high starch content can cause blood sugar to soar, turning a healthy meal into a potential health hazard. So there you have it, folks. Parsnips and winter squash. The dynamic duo of starchy vegetables that can wreak havoc on your blood sugar levels. They might seem harmless, all sweet and nutritious, but for those with diabetes, they're a bit like a wolf in sheep's clothing. Who knew that beneath their tough exteriors, these two were hiding such a dangerous secret? Well, folks, the garden tour is over. Let's do a quick recap, shall we? At number 7, we had the sneaky spuds, the potatoes. They're a starchy bunch, and while they may seem harmless, their high carbohydrate content can cause a hike in blood sugar levels. So it's best to limit your love for these tubers if you're diabetic. Coming in at number 6 were the corn kernels. Don't let their sunny disposition fool you. These little nuggets are packed with carbs and have a high glycemic index, a no-go for maintaining stable glucose levels. At the halfway point, number 5, were the peas. Cute and green, but unfortunately they're also carb-heavy. So while they may be trying to appease you with their sweetness, it's best to keep a safe distance. Number 4 on the list was the root of all evil, the beetroot. Its high natural sugar content can cause blood sugar spikes, which are a big no-no for diabetics. Seems like this root's sweet nature isn't so sweet after all. In third place, we had the parsnips. These subtly sweet roots are high in carbs and have a high glycemic index. It's as if they're trying to parsnip at your healthy glucose levels. At the runner-up spot, number 2, were the carrots. Yes, the same ones that supposedly help you see in the dark. Their high sugar content can make your glucose levels shoot up faster than a rabbit hopping down a hole. And finally, the number 1 veggie villain, the pumpkin. This Halloween staple is a nightmare for diabetics due to its high carb content. It's like this squash is playing a trick-or-treat game with your glucose levels, and trust me, it's no treat. So there you have it. 7 vegetables that might not be the best companions for those with diabetes. Remember, it's all about balance and moderation. Choose wisely, eat healthily, and always consult your doctor or a dietitian before making any major changes to your diet. Remember, just because they're greens doesn't mean they're all good. Keep an eye on your garden and your glucose. So yes, not all vegetables wear capes. Some of them are just green villains in disguise. Remember, when it comes to diabetes, it's not just about eating your veggies, it's about eating the right ones. Stay healthy, folks.